What is up, Joe Joe in the Morning family? I hope you are ready to have an amazing week. Over the past 3 weeks, I have had this crazy, awesome feeling in my spirit that things are about to advance, things are about to get better. I just feel it in my spirit. In fact, one of my friends made this cap, Make It Rain. It is time that you rule and reign everything God has called you to have dominion over. The kingdom of God is at hand. And too many people are living in complacency. They're living in comfort zones. Man, this is a day and an hour that you are called to manifest and produce whatever God has called you to produce. So, hey, we are starting our mentoring up on Thursday, the mentorship program that I'm starting. We're going to start off kind of slow, just at one level. We're just going to kind of start off there, see how things go, so see how many people are part of it, and we're just going to go and grow from there. And as more people come in, I'm going to adjust and figure some things out. But in the links there's going to be an email that you can actually respond to and find out more information there on it. It's going to be good. I'm going to be doing some videos similar to this, but a lot more in depth, a lot of more key content, and more action steps, okay? A lot of what I do in JoJo in the Morning is just to encourage a lot of people, but I'm really into creating an atmosphere with a group of people, a nucleus of people, to take them to that next level, okay? So what I want to talk to you about today is commitment, okay? Commitment. One of the absolute biggest problems I see in people, church people, Christians, is commitment. I ain't talking about the world. Worldly people do what worldly people do. I'm talking about church folk. Is a lack of commitment. Had somebody come to our church, came for a few services, and so we met with them. And I'm like, hey, glad you're here. How long y'all been in Texarkana? And they said, oh, a long time, 10 years. I said, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, where'd you go to church before? I went to this one church for 2 years. I said, okay, I don't know them really. Went to this other church about 3 years. I said, I don't really know them. Went to this other church for like 2 years. I said, I know them. That's good people. They got a good church. Then we blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. We went to this other church. I said, that's some of my closest friends in the city. They got a great church. Oh, I don't like them. I thought, wait a minute. You badmouth because you don't have. In about 10 years, they were now in their 5th church. Commitment problem. A lot of people, they don't stay committed to a job. They don't stay committed to a spouse. What did I say? I was talking to somebody and they were just bad-mouthing this person that they were about to get engaged to. And I just looked at them and I said, you got some internal stuff. How many times you been married? 5. I said, oh, okay. And they're not that old. Commitment problems. I know these amazing entrepreneurs that start kingdom businesses and quit after a year and a half. I was talking to this one guy one day. He did our health program. And I was talking to him. He said, I think I want to coach. And I said, I don't know. How many different jobs have you had in the last 5 years? He said, 4. How many businesses you started up on the side? 4. I said, man, look, when you can learn to be committed, I'll let you join our health coaching program. I'm not looking for somebody to do it for a month or two, then run on something else. No, I'm looking for some commitment. I know people, hey, Apostle JoJo, man, God told me to write a book. And I'm like, oh, great, man, I got some friends that can help you facilitate your book. And I jump in there with them, and then they A year later, I got 2 chapters written, short chapters. Commitment. I was talking to my kids one day, and they said, "Dad, why are you so successful in so many different things?" I said, "Because I'm committed." One time, Earl Nightingale, and he said something to the fact of, if you invest like an hour a day in one particular field, you'll be above average within a year. In 2 years, you'll be really good. In 3 years, you'll be like a national expert, and by year 5, you'll be one of the 1% of that field. An hour a day. I've heard some people say that if you dedicate 20 minutes a day to learn something, within 2 years, you could be world renowned by simple commitment. Anytime when I was younger, I used to work out a whole lot, and I would track stuff. You would track your gains, and I would have different workout partners, and nobody would ever stay committed. I'm just one of those committed type people. I grew up on a farm, and so hey, we had a lot of horses, a lot of cattle, chicken, ducks, dogs, cats, all types of stuff. They like to eat twice a day, every single day. I just learned commitment, growing up like that. And so I think my wife and I, and I think we've written like 15 books together. I've written some, she's written some, and my oldest daughter's written some. We've all came together. But we've written 15 books, and it's a process. Launching a ministry is a process of being committed. You have to be committed. Marriage is commitment. When I do pre-marriage counseling, I tell people, I say, this is pre-marriage counseling, it's good. You talk about some stuff, and that's good, and you have multiple sessions, and then you do the wedding. I said, but here's the deal. When you have your first big fight, that's when I want to jump back in with you, and I'm going to question your commitment. No, we ain't divorcing. This is, you in this. And it's so funny because a lot of times in pre-marriage counseling, you try to really dig in there, but they all in love, but when they get married and stuff, it gets a little different sometimes. And you just gotta, it's commitment, When you're committed, it's different. When you have kids and they want to stay up all night crying when they're teething as a baby, you wanted kids, you're committed to those kids. One thing I've always had is that when I had a job and I didn't feel that good, I went. Now, if you're running 103 fever, you don't need to pass it on. But, I didn't miss. I don't think I missed a day of school for 6 years. I just didn't. I was committed. Being committed is something that a lot of people don't get. And when you're committed to something, I had a guy who I kind of knew him pretty good, and he got caught stealing from his company. And I said, man, why'd you do it? Man, you have a good job at a good place with good benefits, and it seems like, you work at a pretty cool environment. And, hey, if they got air conditioner, that's a good environment. And he said, man, I just kind of short and I've been thinking about it for a while. I said, brother, when you thought about it, you should have found some accountability and prayed. And he said, then I just figured out how I could do it. And then when I did it once, I did it again and again. And see, it was that first time that he did it, he broke commitment. And it made it easier to keep doing. I'll never forget one of the saddest stories is when I was working at a church one time when I was younger. I was sitting with a pastor, and we're doing counseling over this young couple. They had 3 kids under the age of 5. And the husband had messed up and looked at some stuff he shouldn't and messed up. And his wife said, I forgive him, but this is the second time he's looked at porn, had an affair. If he does it again, I'm gone. And he went like this. I said, bro, she ain't playing. And if you do it again, another man will put your kids in bed. And your kids will call another man daddy. Messed up a month later. About a year later, my wife and I went to Walmart one night. And we turned around a corner. And there was just 3 kids. And his little girl was holding this man's hand. And she looked up at him and said, hey, daddy. I was like, whoa. He broke commitment. But then he didn't recommit. Some of you need to recommit stronger to the Lord. You need to recommit to the ministry that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to recommit to a business you once started. You know, maybe you told some friends, hey man, I'll always be there for you. And when they're moving, you know, people are always busy. But a lot of times people need you and you're not there. And so I want you to think about the word commitment. One of the things that I question myself on a regular basis is my prayer time and my getting in the Word time. Now, prayer is not a problem. I mean, prayer and worship is not with me, I love it. I love being in the presence of God. And sometimes I'll just pray all the time, and I say, hey, look, I got to stop praying. I got to read the Word, because I just love praying and I love worship. But you got to make sure that you are committed to the things of God, to the Word of God. And when you do that, it makes all the difference in the world when you're just committed. And I remember I was a young adult pastor one time, and I would start every counseling session like this. And hey man, when did you stop reading and praying? Oh my gosh, you're so prophetic. How did you know I quit reading and praying? I said, but God, if you were still praying and reading every day, we wouldn't be having this meeting. We would just go be hanging out, eating some sushi or something as friends. But we're in this closed door meeting because something happened. And 99% of the time, that was simply it. People just quit reading and praying. Psalms 119, 9:11. How can a young man cleanse his way by making his way pure by taking heed according to the word? I hid the word in the heart that I might not sin against you. When you got that word in you, man, it changes everything. And so I got notebooks all over my desk right here. But I'll write stuff down. I got sticky notes too. I write stuff down to remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing, committing. You know, every day. And in our mentoring, we're really going to dive in this with people. But my first hour and a half, 2 hours of my day looks the same every day. Every day. It's the same. And when you dive in and can get a consistent system, it's good. Every day, it's good. Commitment is huge. You've got to be a person of commitment. And there's some things I've promised God that I would always do, and I've always been committed to them. And so I want to challenge you today. Where's your commitment at? What commitment level have you maybe backed up on? Now, when you are committed to do the same thing every day, is just good. It makes life easy. So I wake up in the morning, go get my cup of coffee, go to my prayer chair. It's in the corner of our living room. The prayer chair, I love that. And I got my coffee, and then I got my breakfast bar from our health company. And I pray and have my bar, drink my coffee. Usually have 2 cups. And then my son gets up, and then my wife, she gets up in the morning, goes to her office. and then I take my son to school, then come back. And if it's summer, I get on my mountain bike because health is important, and I get me a few laps in on my mountain bike around our neighborhood. It's kind of got some hills, and I got the different speeds, and I get me a few laps in. Then I come in. Then during the summer, my son, he's 11, and he's the coolest little dude ever. Him and I work out. And then after that, I take my shower. My wife and I have about a 30-minute conversation about our businesses and ministries, and then I go to our church office. That's actually about 3 hours right there, set, committed, okay? And I just got a lot of things I'm committed to. If it is important to you, if it's important to God, you'll be committed in it. One of the biggest problems I see in people is commitment. When we have people who join our health coaching program, I tell them when they become coaches, I say, look, if you can be committed for 10 minutes a day, whatever you want to do, 30 minutes a day, if you want to work an hour a day, whatever you want to do, you be committed, I can make you successful. People want to start YouTube channels. Can you make a commitment? I was talking to somebody I'm helping on YouTube right now, and they're like, man, you know what? I'm committed. I'm doing one video a week. I'm like, really? I just looked at your channel, and you ain't done a video in 3 weeks. They were like, I haven't? I'm like, no, you haven't. And the thing is, when you learn commitment, man, it just makes your life flow easy. So easy. So good. Well, I hope this helped you today. If you want prayer, go on my website, jojoedawson.net. Go to the contact button, send me a prayer request. Right under the prayer request, you'll know about our health coaching program. The program, Lose Weight, Walk in Wellness, or Be a Coach. Let me know. And if you're interested in our mentoring program, it will be in the links below. You can also find that on our website, or you can message me on our website. I just love helping people. All right, love you guys, and y'all have a blessed day.